Did you know Carnaval, an annual Brazilian festival, is associated with Catholicism, and Carnaval, a word derived from the Latin meaning goodbye flesh, was originally a food festival, where Catholic worshippers feasted in preparation for the following 40 days of Lent that started on Ash Wednesday. The Portuguese settlers brought this festival with them from Europe when they colonized Brazil in the early 1600s. Although back then, it was celebrated as a formal ball. However, it didn't take long for the Afro-Brazilians to start their own carnaval, with African-inspired dances, music, and the introduction to the fancy dress element, by dressing up in the way that mocked the white Brazilian elite. Brazil has always been a place where I wanted to travel to learn the culture, the language, and study the native species in the rainforest, including the Amazon, which is home to more than 120 indigenous groups, which makes Brazil just an amazing place to learn about not just the different species of animals, but all the cultures within it. Today I will introduce Brazil and explain why it is a perfect travel destination. I will discuss cultural faux pas and the history of the women's suffrage movement. Body language. Physical contact is a part of simple communication. Touching arms, elbows, and back is very common and acceptable. Brazilians also stand extremely close to one another, so don't back away. The OK sign is considered very rude and vulgar. Wiping your hands together means it doesn't matter. Clicking the tongue and shaking the head indicates disagreement or disapproval. Meeting and greeting. You must take the time to greet and say goodbye to each person present. Women kiss twice, once on each cheek, if they are married. Single women add a third kiss. Eating. Some food that may seem appropriate to eat and handle with your fingers are not. Typically, people use napkins or toothpicks to pick up food. Burping and making noises with plates and cutlery is considered to be poor etiquette. Leaving unfinished food on one's plate is considered impolite, suggesting that the person did not enjoy their food. Moving on to the history of the women's suffrage movement, as well as women in politics. The women's suffrage movement began in Brazil in the early 1900s. As in the United States, women were first fully enfranchised at the state level. In 1927, in Rio Grande do Norte, the state election law was amended giving women's rights to vote. A year later, Alzina Serrano was elected mayor of Lajas, Santa Catarina State. Finally, the new national election code was signed by President Vargas in 1932, allowed women to vote in the May 1933 elections. For the 1934 Constituent Assembly, 2 women were elected to that body. After that, no women were elected to Congress in the years between 1946 through 1951. After that, there was a lot of representation for women placed in position of power. In 2011, Dilma Rousseff became the first woman president of Brazil. Being able to learn about this beautiful culture through these different assignments has been really informative in learning about the culture in a deeper sense, as well as developing an appreciation for it. And like they say in Portuguese, tchau seguigi.